There's a story Jesus told about a master who gave three servants money before he traveled. One got five, one got two, one got just one. And I want to ask you something before I even tell you the story. If you had to guess right now, even before knowing the story, which servant do you think got into trouble? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sabina, and if you are new here, this is Life and Business with Sabi. Over here, we do have honest conversations about real life lessons, about business, about faith, and many other. So stay with me. Let's get into today's conversation. Most people guess wrong. Let me tell you why. Here's what actually happened. A master is about to travel, and before he leaves, he calls three servants and gives each of them money to manage while he's away. 5 talents to the first, two to the second, and one to the third. Not equal amounts, but the amounts based on what he knew each of them could handle. The first two servants go out and do something with it. They take what they were given, they put it to work, they take a risk, and by the time the master came back, both of them had doubled what they started with. But the third servant did something completely different. He didn't lose the money. He didn't gamble with it. He simply dug a hole and buried it and kept it exactly as it was, safe, untouched until the master came back. Now, here's my question to you. If you were the master, who would you be most disappointed in? If you guess the third servant, you are right, but probably not for the reason you think. When the master came back, he wasn't upset about the failed investment because in the first place there was none. Nobody lost the money in this story, but he was upset about something much quieter than that. The fear that led to no action at all. Let that sit for a second. The servant who buried his talents didn't do anything reckless. He was careful. He protected what he had on paper. He did nothing wrong. And that's exactly the problem. So why does this 2000-year-old story matter to you sitting here right now watching this? I don't think this parable is about money at all. I think it is about what you do with what you have already been given while you are still waiting to see how it turns out. Let me break this down into four things. And I want you to actually sit down with each one, not just nod along. You already have something in your hand. Not someday, not when you feel ready, but right now. Maybe it's a skill you've been quietly good at for years. Maybe it's a business idea you've actually mentioned to one person and never again. What is it for you? Actually think about that before you keep watching. Fear is really good at disguising itself as caution. Here's a question worth asking yourself honestly. The thing you haven't started yet, is it patience or is it fear wearing a more responsible looking outfit? Because those two feel most identical from the inside. Growth requires risks, and risks requires you to actually move. The two servants who doubled their talent didn't know for certain it'll work out. Nobody handed them a guarantee. They moved anyway without it. That's the difference between building something and just protecting what you already have. What you do with a little shows you are ready for more. The master didn't reward the faithful servants because they started with more. He rewarded them because of what they chose to do with what they already had. So if you are waiting for more before you start, more time, more money, more confidence, I want you to sit with this. Maybe what you do with the little you have right now is exactly what determines whether more ever comes. I think about this constantly with my own journey. I had a business I built and grew back home. I left it behind to move here. I could have buried that experience, the skills, out of fear that starting over meant I have failed. But instead, I took what I had, the stories, the lessons, even just the little bit of courage I could find some days. Then I started small chops from nothing, and I started content creation with barely any following at all. None of them came with a guarantee. I still don't have one. Now, let me ask you the real question, the one this whole video has been building toward. What's the one talent you have been sitting on right now out of fear? Not later, not once things calm down. Right now, what is it? Because I want you to actually sit with the answer, not just let it pass as I move to the next video. Now, tell me in the comments, what's one thing you have been burying out of fear instead of putting it to work? I will read every single one because I actually want to know. And if this kind of honest conversation about faith, about business, is something you would want more, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And thank you so much for coming along with me today. Have a wonderful Sunday and a beautiful week ahead. Peace. Bye.